Good evening and welcome to the April 21st Barrington School Board meeting. Call the meeting to order. We don't have any pledgers with us.
Well, it was supposed to be our high school rep. I don't know where she is. We were all
All right,
confirmed.
well, we're moving on
We're
because there
moving
are
on.
3 different sports games on.
Okay, let's go, let's go. Rock and rolling.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
So, approval of the agenda. Any changes to the agenda?
I would say our high school rep. I keep thinking I'm hearing a door, but no. And then I have an additional nomination for the 60% nurse to add. You have the packet. I just didn't make it on the agenda because I didn't meet with her until yesterday.
All right, so we're gonna,
Motion to approve as amended?
Second.
did you
Who
put
was
that out?
second?
Sorry.
Jade.
All right, then, approval of the April, I'm gonna ask that we need to do all the minutes separate because.
We didn't vote on the minute.
Huh? Oh, motion to approve the agenda that's been seconded. Any discussion? All those in favor? Aye. Garth's kicking me to move it along. All right, so for the minutes, because we have various members missing meetings, if we can take them separately. So,
Make a motion to approve the April 7th public minutes.
second,
I'll second.
any discussion? Was there anything?
Yeah, usually at the top, isn't there the who was there?
Yes.
Yes.
Are they missing?
Yeah, off the April
Off the
7th.
minutes.
I will add those.
Other than that, everything was fine, I just didn't.
I would also, in the minutes, since we're amending them, where it says resignations, can we put those names in there, please? Because, like, it wasn't listed in the agenda and it's not listed in the minutes, and really, that should be public information.
Yep.
Thank you.
Minutes, agenda, or both? I mean, both moving forward, but do you want me to adjust them all when I
I would
repost?
adjust it to this minutes before it gets posted of
Yep.
who resigned.
Perfect.
So motion as amended then?
Second.
Any further discussion? Okay, all those in favor of approving the amended April 7th public minutes?
Aye.
Aye.
And one abstention.
2 abstentions.
Two
I was
abstentions.
not there either.
Sorry.
On a late meeting.
Jason was out being a Marine.
It's for a week.
Booyah.
All right, so April 14th, public and non-public minutes.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Second, it's the second comment that I just made on the other
Yep,
minutes. There's also-
attendees.
Yep, the attendees are missing. Thank you.
And
Yes.
I think on the public minutes, on the Oyster River section, it should be Mr. Booty, not Booty. I think the minutes say B-O-O-T-Y, and it should be B-O-O-D.
Wow.
E-Y.
D-E-Y.
Yeah, I was gonna say, isn't there an E in there? Yes,
There it
thank
is,
you.
yeah. You'd be horrified to being mentioned, but.
So,
It's like when you call the fire department now, you make a booty call.
No, there are 2 of 3 on the department. Okay, so, is there a motion to approve the amended public?
Second.
All right,
It's all good.
Abstain.
all those in favor? Aye.
Yeah, we gotta go, but we're following.
All right.
We're following on.
We're moving on from Fiona, sorry to miss you, public comment, we have no one here. Anyone online want to speak? There will be another opportunity later in the meeting. Okay, I don't see anything, Jeff, do you? All right, moving on to nominations.
I will group them nurses first and kindergarten teacher separately. I will ask for an abstention on that one. I think, I don't know, we always say certain positions don't come in a vending machine, but we really got super lucky here. Had a couple of great applicants for both full-time and part-time, replacing one retirement and one, the part-time nurse who is moving. And had the opportunity to meet with both, and they are super excited to join the team and have some nice experience and energy, and those are two nurses, one that will float around the district and one that will be primarily stationed at BES.
Make a motion to accept both nominations for the BES nurse and the 60% nurse.
Second that.
Any discussion?
No, thank you for, thank you.
Can I just have a question.
Sure.
So for the full-time nurse, it says BA plus 15, and then step 12 and list of salary. And then for the part-time, it says BA 14, and maybe it's a higher step, but it doesn't list a step, and then has a higher salary that then gets prorated, so I find that confusing.
Hold on, let me look. Read it. Thank you, that makes it easier. Yours are not. BA 15. So one is a BA plus 15 credits on a step 12.
Okay, and this is just BA,
Just a BA, no additional credits on step 14
so why is the BA plus 15 a lower salary?
because of the steps,
Okay,
the two steps.
okay.
I can double check them, but
Yeah,
I
but
just
just like,
looked
so
them up.
going forward, like, if we're including step on one, includes
Yes, yep,
on the other, that's why it was a bit confusing.
yep, the words, like, right, that it's the step, yes, sir. Gotcha.
Thank you.
I was wondering what you were pondering over there. I'm like, uh-oh, what did I do?
It was like, because I didn't know if the 14 was steps or the 14
Yep.
was credits or.
Gotcha. Yeah, the full-time did her nursing degree post-bachelor's,
Okay.
and then Jordan has her bachelor's degree. And really, I'm backwards, the way this form is written. It should say 14 BA, because it says step and track, which is odd to me, but maybe it's time to revamp those forms. And then we have a kindergarten teacher nomination.
Do we need to vote on?
Oh, sorry,
We didn't vote
I
on-
jumped the gun.
That's right, we just did the motion and second.
Okay, all those in favor of the nominations?
Aye.
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 We're all off track tonight. Okay, now moving on to kindergarten teacher. Some of you may recall from earlier in the year, but actually maybe not, because long-term subs don't come your way. But Miss Allen went from paraprofessional to filling in as a long-term sub for a leave for one of our kindergarten teachers who has since resigned in order to stay home with her family. And so Mrs. Daly conducted interviews and brought Miss Allen forward for kindergarten teacher nomination. She has done a great job getting back into the field and learning all the changes and technology. I had a great conversation with her about that and how much changed in the years that she was not in education. But she has a background with early child development through UNH and knows a lot of our families and educators. So it has been a great fit for this stability in that classroom for the year.
Make a motion to accept Libby Allen as a kindergarten teacher.
Second.
Any discussion?
Just going to disclose that she is my wife, so I am accusing myself from this whole process.
All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye, I think that's all right.
And,
One abstention.
all right,
You're supposed to pound the table when you say abstain.
I abstain.
stayed.
With four.
Vehemently abstain.
All right, so Town Capital Improvement Plan Committee Board Member appointee.
So that's a lot of words there. So I during my regular monthly meeting with Connor, he had shared with me that there was a warrant put out for a capital improvement plan committee on which a school board member is asked to sit on that committee. He suggests also having an alternate in case one can't attend. I reached out to Moira because they were trying to have a meeting prior to this meeting. I don't think it has happened. But it's Thursday. So given that it's capital improvement, I thought it made sense for the members of the facilities committee, if they were so willing, to be a part of that piece. And so reached out to both Garth and Rick, and then figured they could go if the meeting happened prior to tonight, and otherwise, you guys can now have that discussion and make that appointment.
I'm perfectly okay with Garth being the appointment and I'll be an alternate.
And vice versa.
All right, I think I heard Rick make a
A motion.
motion.
Ah,
Can you make a motion?
I'll second it. It's discussion time.
Any
Now you
discussion?
discuss.
All right, hearing no discussion, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Nay.
It's like you
No, I'll do.
outvoted
Rick
Garth.
has got a lot more like code experience and stuff like that than I do. But I have him on the what am I on the town center committee and the signage committee and stuff like that. So I'm having these conversations. So, and maybe I'm just gonna not ever show up or work all the time. That'll be great.
great. And then your alternate can step in.
And it's gonna work out well. We'll have.
Thank you both, gentlemen.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, well, I mean, I assume that you'll go to that first meeting and try to find the time, but I don't get off the bus till 4:15, so.
You can Zoom.
While he's driving the bus.
While
That
he's
should be not a problem.
Sounds legit.
Super safe.
All right.
Not our employee, I won't chime in on that one.
All right, moving on from that dangerous topic. Notification of grant, federal grants assurances.
So it's been a few, I'm gonna give you this one because it has my original initials and signatures on it. If you can pass that down to Moira,
Sorry.
please, that's okay. So a few years back, you might recall, we have to do this every year now. It is basically requiring Moira and I to both sign off that we will implement all federal and state rules, laws, et cetera, in order to be in receipt of our grant funds. And it requires it to be in the minutes, and the date in which you discussed it is part of the form. So I am officially bringing it forward. And we already have submitted, prepared to submit the assurances, and we're already starting to get grant notifications. Preliminary Title I has come back 10,000 less than this current year, which is not unexpected. Unfortunately, which doesn't really track with the state of the economy, but a lot of it is based on free and reduced numbers, and that number has declined nationally, which then impacts what comes to us federally. So there's always hope that it will change when the final allocation comes forward. I did look at the amounts in there. Title I tutors are what pretty much uses that entirety of that grant amount, and so there are years where we just have to take, depending on what people take for insurance, and either put a little insurance in the operating budget or a little of the FICA, or just, play with the numbers based on what's in the grant, so.
But it's based on our free and reduced lunch count, not nationally, correct?
So it's two layers. One, because federal takes a number of they are sending the state less based on federal trends, and so then the state is distributing less because they're getting less. But yes, our direct formula is based, one of the prongs is our F&R numbers.
It's only gonna get worse before it gets any better, that's the scary part.
Yeah, they had started to really decline, and then COVID hit, and then we got all this extra money, and now it's going back the other way.
So do you need us to make a motion on any of that, or just that we've discussed the
No,
assurances?
we needed to
and it's
just show that
Okay.
we discussed, that we understand we have to follow federal and state rules.
been- All right. Show us the money. Okay.
That's right, yeah.
More preferably.
All right, so facilities project proposal, Joe?
Yep, so I'd like to just go over the energy and infrastructure plan of phase one of our capital improvement plan. We've been working, this is where we're going back with the EMC, speaking with them, Deanna and I've been pretty much going at them pretty hot and heavy. So what we'd like to do is, I'm gonna read off of this here, is stop energy waste immediately by the start of phase one of a capital plan to get ahead of any failures, shutdowns within our schools. We've done an amazing job maintaining our schools, however, many infrastructures in our facilities or beyond life expectancy. This first phase puts us in a position to get ahead of unforeseen and anticipated failures and starts the future proof of proprietary equipment and the new generator that we're proposing through the FEMA. The Boyle project is a necessary step in our opinion, as it will convert us to propane and includes enough capacity to take on the new generator also. This proposal is about using available tools and incentives to make smart, likely, timely investments. The approach combines several key elements, leveraging enhanced Eversource incentives, currently offering more than double of what they normally do, and applying over $400,000 in incentives directly to the project. Utilizing a tax-exempt lease purchase structure, aligning payments with future budget capacity, looking to the 27-28 budget year. This allows the district to move forward in a way that, in both strategic and financial responsibility, it is a targeted first phase of a long-term capital plan designed to reduce risk, improve performance, and take advantage of a unique financial opportunity. So why now? So this will allow the approach allows the district to, one, in increasing risk of failure. Many core systems, particularly the boilers, the controls, the building envelope components, are all aging. As these systems decline, the likelihood of unexpected failures increases, which can result in emergency repairs, disruptions to school operations, higher unplanned costs. Two, rising operating costs. Older systems are less efficient, require more maintenance, leading to the increased energy consumption, higher repair frequencies, greater strain on maintenance staff, and then three, ongoing energy waste. Older systems are less efficient, require more maintenance, increased energy consumption, higher repair frequency, greater strain on the maintenance. So now we get into the options. And option one here is what we are recommending for this. So this is a comprehensive first phase that addresses the most critical infrastructure needs across all buildings while maximizing available incentives. Why this option fully captures available incentives, addresses major systems and energy waste, positions the district for long-term stability. The key benefits: immediate energy savings, LED lighting and controls upgrades reduces energy usage and operating costs immediately. Modern controls, Niagara N4 replaces proprietary systems with an open platform, improving performance and reducing long-term service costs. And boiler system upgrade, oil to gas, improves the efficiency, reduces fuel costs, and increases system reliability. Building envelope improvements, reduces heat loss and improves overall building performance. Option one, comprehensive. Best overall value, strong savings, incentives, positions district for future phases. This plan allows the district to address the highest risk systems before failure occurs, reduce energy waste immediately, take advantage of time-sensitive incentives, and begin a structured capital improvement plan. Option two.
Joe, could,
Yep.
like, so we can see all these options?
Yep.
Can you just tell us, like, what option you are recommending and why?
Option number one.
Okay.
And if you want to look at the numbers, we can go to the page with all the project costs.
Perfect.
Yep.
So option two is everything he just talked about in one, except it has doors in there. Option three is lighting upgrades only to take advantage of incentives.
This includes doors.
So option one is everything that's in option three plus the boiler room? Is that right?
Option one includes the
Yes.
boiler room, correct?
Option three is just the lighting, no boiler
No
room.
boiler room.
And without the boiler room, we're not going to be able to put in the new generator, right?
Yeah, so we'll have that cost when the FEMA grant goes through and the generator has to be put in. We'll then be realizing having to do that anyway before installation. So if we want to get ahead of that project and be ready for it, that's why we're recommending option one.
But by way of full disclosure, can you also give them an update as to the chance we're getting the FEMA grant isn't 100%?
It's looking really good at this point,
Pretty
actually.
close. It's looking really well. Because we're a swap out.
Yeah,
We have everything in place right now. We're just waiting on them.
Did something develop between the time when they were in presenting to us and now? Because like then they were like, well, there might not be funds for it at
So
the end of the
FEMA's
day.
been very upfront with us that they
Yep.
don't currently have funds, but they've already approved our project. They've already looked at our proposal, they've asked EMC to adjust it, have worked with them, they feel really good about it when there's money. They're not saying if, they're saying when.
Okay.
Then we are set and ready to go. They actually emailed us after we had met because they did some additional work in Goffstown, and Goffstown's now on track, whereas they had some stalling.
Got it.
Refresh for the board, what was the 10% cost match? It was 10%,
Yeah.
right? What was that roughly?
Of the grant, of the generator?
Yeah.
So the generator was 6 and change?
675.
Yeah, 675.
So,
So 10%, 60 grand.
sorry.
And honestly, there is no way that you would just need somebody to have that application process just to be done. It's huge.
So currently in the middle school, we're using them oil boilers, correct?
2 oil boilers, and then we have 1 Wiesmann.
Okay, and the oil, where are the oil tanks underground?
The oil tank is underground. It's a 12,000 gallon underground oil tank that's 23 years old.
Okay. So at some point, DES are gonna require us to pull it out anyway,
Correct.
no matter what.
Correct.
Even if it doesn't leak, it'll have to come out.
Correct. And we're at that point right now where we also take and we do our monthly underground storage tank inspections. And all of that also.
Yeah, a
Where-
couple years ago, we took the one out of the ECLC.
Did we take it out? Didn't we leave it for, again, my memory is fuzzy.
To have a secondary,
A secondary, because we figured,
oh, we took it out.
why spend the money to remove it when we could just leave it there and use it as a backup if we ever needed it? I remember that conversation. Is
I
that,
do too, but now I'm not, now I'm,
do you have an oil tank or don't you?
right. I know we took all the oil and brought it to BMS
Okay.
because it was sitting there unused. And now I'm not recalling if we took it out of the ground. It was pre-you.
Yeah, it was pre-me, but I
Well,
believe
I'll have
it
to go look, do
has
some
to
digging.
come out
I
of the
can't remember now,
ground
Gar.
because after they paved, they had to come back and fix part of that pavement and everything, so they,
I mean, at some point, like I say, at some point, they make you take it out no matter
Yeah.
what. 'Cause they don't,
When it's decommissioned? Like
Yeah,
when you're not using it anymore, right?
because you can't, it's, unless you get down in there and clean it, it's not possible to get 100% of the oil out.
Right.
Right.
So
They want them all to come out.
if it starts to leak, then it becomes a groundwater contamination
It
issue.
is, right? I thought we took it out,
So at some point,
but now I feel like I have to check.
Let's err on the side of, yeah, it's not there.
No, well, I'm gonna, now I'm gonna double check, but I know we went back
I just
and
remember,
forth.
and again, you guys might have removed it, but I remember the conversation. It was like we were talking about having to spend the money to remove it, and the
Right.
solution came up. Why don't we just leave it and keep in case we ever need you run the oil
we have
boilers?
it-
We had a
have a backup.
backup for some reason. So,
mean,
and there was at the
think
time we talked about
gasoline
because
tanks are
propane and oil prices were going like this, and we said, well, maybe someday it's going to be more.
they have gasoline tanks, underground
Right now.
gasoline tanks have to be out.
they're gonna be out after 25.
After 25 years, no matter what. And they're double wall fiberglass, most of them now. They're not steel tanks anymore.
Yeah.
They see steel, they want it out,
Right.
much.
All right. And what is again, where this proposal isn't going to put a generator in, but it leads to us being able to put a generator in. What will this generator run?
The same thing that we have, it's basically for an emergency shelter. They don't want so FEMA doesn't want it to run the whole school. It's for an emergency shelter. So that's why the town.
We wouldn't get the grant
Yeah.
if that was Goffstown's error. They
Yeah.
tried to get it to run too much, and they said, no, we won't fund that, because it has to be for emergency shelter purposes exclusively.
That generator was doing about 75% of that building, correct?
Yeah.
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 So we'd have the same coverage.
Yep, all it is swapping out the generator, all of our controls and everything like that are all good. And we put the propane tank.
There's been a number of times over the years where that generator, what few times it actually worked, it kept school in session.
Yeah,
That's a big deal.
Oh, yeah.
Because in the middle of the winter, the building can only drop so many degrees, and you gotta empty it.
right.
Yeah.
And if something were to happen, Joe's already done the legwork to bring in temporary generators if for some reason we had to keep that building fired up.
And this allows for all the classrooms to have dimmable lights and so forth,
Yes.
which is like,
It'll be dimmable lights, it's all new fixtures, it's not replacing light bulbs or anything like that. It's actually physically taking the fixtures out and putting stuff in, and that's all at the middle school. BES and ECLC have had some of their stuff already transformed over, so some of that stuff there will be left in place, but 90% of it will be coming out.
And for those that, for the three of you that weren't at the facilities, I mean, the important thing is that Eversource is putting some pretty big dollars up there because a lot of they want the lights out of the system, and at
Right.
some point.
So in that last page, if you look at that, the total projected cost for the LED part is $421,852, and Eversource incentive is $254,664.
So that's what, about a 2.5 year
They don't have those.
payback, right?
2.5. Payback.
and just could somebody speak to, like, just so when someone's listening at home and they're like, oh, the lights are dimmable, who cares? Because that's what my initial reaction was, but you can overstimulate the kids, right? And so that's why you go into some of the classrooms and it looks like a college dorm room with tarps hanging over the lights.
Yeah, which some of those, we have to often say, those have to come down, because as
Yeah.
you know, they don't meet fire code, but what we find ourselves doing is unhooking half of them.
Yep.
Because the fluorescent lighting gives some kids headaches, and they're just not good.
We replaced them when they weren't fluorescent when we read that energy thing.
That was my recollection too, and I was,
Came in and replaced all the light bulbs in the district.
Well, what there
Light
is
bulbs,
they
not
did.
the fixtures and the
Right,
ballasts,
but the
which
light
we
bulbs-
can't.
Okay.
Yeah,
Light
and not
bulbs
all.
are just plug and play LEDs.
Right, so they're not fluorescent.
They're not, no. But
That's why I was confused, because I was like, wait, we already took out all the.
You're like, hold on.
yeah. But you still have the old drivers, the old ballast in there. And I hate to say it, but the ballast.
And will they automatically shut off if the room's unoccupied?
Yep, we have that set up now. Yep. Everything would be motion. Be quite a savings. So that is our proposal. I mean, I can go through these last two sheets if you'd like to go through all of that. I know there's
I don't
games
know
to
what
get
last two
to.
sheets
We
you're
only
referring
have-
to.
this is
This
the
is our
last
last
page.
page.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah, okay, that's
I
it.
don't know why you guys don't, I don't have them either.
Do you want me to run a copy?
You want a copy? No, I mean, I have faith in the
Yeah, it's
people who are on the
basically what
facilities
it is.
committee.
Oh,
Just don't know where my original
I
is.
do.
Refresh it for the people, for those that are here, again, refresh how that'll be paid for if we approved option one.
I'm sorry.
How will that be paid for if we approved option one?
So if we go for option one, that would be with the incentives and everything else like that. It would be until 2027, there would be no cost because of the incentives, and then 2028 could be our first payment. And that first payment would be that 33,000.
So they took our
Budget.
utility bill average, we would keep our utility lines stable in the budget, and the savings that we would make from switching out the bulbs would then pay for the bond, or the lease payment, I should say, it's not a bond, because that's all you can pay it the way we're doing it with that structure.
Assuming we were to approve option one, that includes the boilers, what's the time frame that you'd be replacing boilers? Would you be doing it this summer while
Yeah.
school's out?
Yep.
I'd like to make a motion to approve option
can I just ask
one.
one more question, Rick? I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Just, I'm an idiot, but like, as Moira said, we have LED bulbs everywhere. I know they're old ballasts and old fixtures, but we've got LED. Why are we going to realize so much energy savings just by putting new generation LEDs to replace the last generation LEDs? Is that how, are they sure that, I know we're going to keep our budget line the same for electricity. Are we really going to realize that much difference by,
Yeah.
yeah?
New lights are not gonna have ballast, right?
It won't.
That's the issue, and what did they tell us the cost of a ballast is, right, roughly?
If you can even get
Ballpark.
them.
Yeah, so one ballast, and like this light here has one ballast, but it runs those two lights. And that one ballast is $80 to replace it, and we replace them all the time. You know, so the cost savings is just gonna be,
We went through but when I was still at the town, at the public safety building, the apparatus bays, we were starting to have a lot of the lights going out at night. Bob Salisbury does the work for the town. Had him come in and he goes, Rick, he says, you can't, half of these, the problem is the ballast is what's bad, and the ballast is more expensive than the light fixture. So he says, you know, I hate to say it, but you know, you guys need to budget the money to replace these lights. And matter of fact, I had actually talked to Connor about it after we met with EMC the other day, and he said the Energy Committee was working on that exact same thing with the cost savings that Eversource was putting out there.
yeah, Cindy was there yesterday to know how things were going over here and everything. Energy Committee.
All right, so I think we had a motion to go with option one. Is there anyone who's going to second that motion?
I'll second it.
Okay. Any further discussion on it?
Can we just please make sure that these also get included in the appropriate spot in the public document? I think this might be one that people might check, so I just want to make sure it's really, it's.
The further information,
Yep,
yeah,
yep, yep,
absolutely.
yep, thank you.
All right, so all those in favor of going with option one?
Right?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. All right. Thank you, Joe.
Thank you.
All right, we're up to policies.
They're all second reads, and there were no adjustments from last time, so. Somebody can rattle away.
Alphabet
You're
soup,
good
Carrie.
at that, Carrie.
All right, I make a motion to approve the following policies for second read. BCA, BCA-R1, BCB, BDB, BDD, BDE, BDF, BDG, BEA, and BEB.
Is there anyone who would like to second?
Second that.
Okay, any discussion on any of the policies? All right, all those in favor? Aye. All right, so we are up to our final opportunity for public comment. We still have no public in person. Those of you online, if you would like to speak, please raise your little hand icon. All right, seeing none. I don't see any. Do you, Jeff? Nope, okay. Entertain a moment to go into non-public.
Citing 91-A:3, 2A. I'd like to make a motion to enter non-public.
Second.
Okay. We'll do a roll call vote. Just gonna start.
Jason Baker, aye.
Svensson, aye.
Taylor, aye.
Neil, aye.
Walker, right?
All right, thank you, everyone.